And here we have the original code names. You have a lot of different words. You have a grid setup where you will put 5 times 5 words on the table. You have some cards, 7 innocent people, an assassin, and you have your agents, the red and the blue ones. And here we have a setup for the original game. And here we have the content for Codenames Pictures. We have a lot of different picture cards. They are a bit larger than the word cards in the original game. We have the grid with 5 times 4 cards, 20 cards instead of 25. We have the assassin, the red and the blue agents, the innocent victims, and then the extra card depending on if we are playing with the blue side or the red team as a start player. And here we have Codenames Pictures. The rules for playing the game, the original game and pictures are the same. Choose 2 players to be the spy masters. They will sit on this side of the table and they have this card where they can see where all the blue agents are hiding and where all the red agents are hiding and where the assassin is hiding. So the assassin is up here by the chocolate. So be careful when you give clues to a team not to lead them to this card, because if your team chooses this card, then you will lose the game. The blue spy master has to give clues to his team so they can find all the blue agents. And the red team has to find all the red agents. The blue team is the starting team, so they have to find 8 agents, and the red team have to find 7 agents. And the spy master will give 1 word as a clue, and then he will say a number. So for example, the blue team could say flying free. This means that the spy master is thinking of 3 cards in here that has something to do with flying. Now the blue team has to discuss among them which cards they think the spy master is thinking about. And when they have decided, they will point at a card, for example this card. Then the spy master, if it was correct, it was a blue card, then he will put a blue agent upon it. If they were wrong, then he would put a red or a white or the assassin upon the card, depending on what was hiding under the card they were pointing at. So in this case, he would take the blue and put it over the card. Then they could guess again, or they could stop if they didn't think they could find any more words. But they always have to point at least 1 card. Next, the team might say, this also looks like a bird, so they could point at this card, and then the spy master would put this upon. The spy master cannot speak or communicate with his teammates. He has to be quiet and have a stone face. Then the team might choose this card up here. They think this is a bird foot, and they pointed at this card. This was also a blue card, but it wasn't what the spy master had thought about. He could actually have said maybe flying 4, but let's put this one up here, and then the turn would end. And then it would be the red team's turn. Now, if the blue team had guessed on, let's say, this card for some reason, and it was a red card, then we would put this red card out here, and we had helped the other team. The blue team's turn would end, and then it would be the red team's turn. If you point at a card that is neutral, then you would put this card out and your turn would also end, and it would be the other team's turn. And the next time it's the blue team's turn and the spy master, for example, says timer 1, then they could point at this card, put out here, and then the blue team could make 1 more guess. You can always guess at 1 extra clue. So for example, in the last time our blue spy master said flying free, and we only guessed 2 of them, then we might have figured out which card he was referring to and point at this card, and you can always get 1 extra guess, and then it will be the other team's turn. So the game ends when a team have found all their agents, or a team accidentally picks the assassin, then they would lose. If you play advanced code names, then you can play with a new way of ending the game. You can play with assassin ending, where you have to find all of your agents, and then for the last card you have to find the assassin. In advanced codenames, you can also, as a spy master, give a expert clue unlimited. So if I, for example, set cut unlimited, then my team could find all the words they wanted to. So for example, if blue only needed one more word on their next turn and we were pretty sure they were going to get it, then I could try and press my team to see if we could find all our agents in one turn. It would be difficult, but it might be our last hope to win the game, so you can give a clue like that. There's another expert rule. You are allowed to say, for example, chocolate 0, and this means that the clue you gave, you should not pick as a team. You can pick anything else, but certainly not what I gave you as a clue. If you own both games, then you can combine them and placing a picture card and a word card and so forth. And you can either choose to play with 5 times 4, or you can play with 5 times 5 and use the other grid card. I hope you got a good idea about how to play Codenames, either the original version or the picture version or the combined version.